Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early November 2021. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get started straight away, shall we? We're going to check the energy here with a couple of oracle cards just to breeze into this reading nice and smooth. I really hope you're all doing well. So let's shuffle it up one time here for the beautiful Virgo collective, my guides and spirit team. And yeah, we'll look at these cards super quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, just like last week, we're going to do a little bit of shadow work with your bonus spread at the end. We'll be using the Shadowland Tarot to see what shadows you might need to lean into in this time. And those have been coming out really, really interesting. So I hope you like that. Let's get it going, though. Let's not delay. Okay, so assistance, helping, that might be on the table here with these helping hands. We'll talk about it, though. Let's get one more out. Okay, doesn't have to be a major theme, but it makes sense, like either being of service to somebody, maybe you need a little assistance. Okay, and time, communication, interesting mix of energy we have here, Virgo. Now, before we fully dive into this, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out after the shadow work, of course. But here we go into the reading. You see the imagery on this card. You see that woman sleeping. There's hands around her. So I always think of assistance in some way and manner, whether it's spiritual assistance, spirit being around you, assisting you through this journey of life, maybe you helping somebody. There might be somebody approaching you for assistance. You might just need a helping hand. We all do from time to time, but it's showing up here as a theme, so I wouldn't be surprised if these themes come up in the coming days and weeks. Also sleep, because that woman is sleeping there, so make sure you're getting proper rest and taking care of sleep. But moving over to the other card, you see this beautiful woman in a dress. There's that golden clock. Yes, there is letters and birds, so that can speak about messages, communications. You might be receiving messages from spirit literally through synchronicities and stuff like that. But we think of time. This is what sticks out most to me in this card. Whether you're waiting on something, waiting for time to elapse, maybe you feel like you have plenty of time, maybe you feel like you're up against the clock, okay? Time, the construct, could be important in the coming days and weeks as well. So we'll see how that all ties into the tarot reading itself. Very interesting way to start. But we're going to shuffle this up and get you 3 cards in the upright before we intuitively clarify. Let's see what we got for Virgo, please, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Virgo collective? Okay, so last week's reading was titled A Serious Truth. The week before that was Big Victory Incoming. Okay, so it's been a little bit of a flip-flop of energy with the Serious Truth reading. To me, it didn't feel like a bad truth, but it felt more like a craving for honesty, like a no-nonsense, no-games type of feeling. Hey, position number 1, we have the King of Cups, a.k.a. Kyle of Cups without a beard, showing up. I always love when he shows up. Let's get 2 more. So that could be speaking about your emotional state. There we go. We got the 7 of Wands taking up the center. And we have Judgment here on the back end. Lots of action on the back end of this spread, Virgo. And we're going to talk about it. It's an interesting dynamic of energy we have going on here. So we'll go through it one by one. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into the juicier, intuitive stuff. But leading off the reading, we got the King of Cups. And I always say, hey, this man needs a beard. Sure, not every man in the world needs a beard, but it's my personal opinion that this guy in particular does. And one day I will draw one on him. But you might be tied to a water sign here. Maybe you have strong water sign placements in your natal chart. But he speaks of emotional mastery, controlling of one's emotions. Yes, it could be creative skills, artistic, super silky smooth types of vibes. But with him, yeah, it could be love situations too. You know, if you watch my readings, I don't pigeonhole these readings to love alone. It could be anything going on in your life, but your emotional state could be very important. And it could be love. It could be you really loving someone or something, vice versa. You know the deal. But as we progress through the reading, in the center, we have the 7 of Wands. I see that as a neutral card. Once again, it's an action card. To me, there's a lot of determination here. Some of you might feel a little cornered. Some of you might feel like you have a lot of battles and tests that you're going up against when a card like this shows up. A lot of signs have been getting this one this week, I'll tell you that. But it's not bad to me. It's somebody persevering, seeing what challenges they have, speed bumps, blocks, and just pushing through. Okay, hopefully it's not any conflict coming your way, but I feel like this is more positive of determination and movement in general. Now moving to the back end, we have Judgment. Very, very strong, powerful energy of movement. The universe nudging something along. This could be a big action coming in. This could be big changes, big movements. Not as strong as a Tower, but Judgment is just like the universe willing something to happen. And it does have little karmic undertones sometimes. It could be a decision. It could be a fork in the road as well, because it's literally the Judgment card. But there might be some sort of breakthrough or action change coming in with this card, okay? Or a spirit might be wanting you to do something, start some kind of task or work, okay? Like it might be written. So with all that being said, we're going to dive deeper. We're going to jump in and clarify now. Shuffle it up one more time for the beautiful Virgo collective, please. My guides, talk to me. What do we have for my friends? For Virgo in early November. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research, rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. We're going to go in on this King of Cups. Let's go intuitive here. And yeah, if you read cards yourself, that's why this box is here. You can play along. If you're feeling any messages, drop it down below for your collective to read, because it might resonate. So why is this King of Cups here for Virgo? Please and thank you. Thank you. Okay, Star in reverse. Interesting. Okay, now you might be tied to an Aquarius as well. That's another very powerful major arcana. This might be somebody, and on an intuitive level, I feel like somebody having a little battle with depression here or feelings of hopelessness. Now, that doesn't mean it has to be you. It could be like seasonal depression coming up as well. That's like the intuitive vibe it's giving me. For some of you, you might just be very jaded in regards to love, if this King of Cups represents love to you, like jaded feelings, okay? I don't feel like it's full-on pessimism and negativity, but sometimes people do feel those feelings. And to me, the main vibe is like somebody grappling with those emotional ups and downs, the emotional roller coasters. There's a little warning here in the beginning that your emotions could be a little more volatile in the coming days and weeks. It doesn't ruin the reading whatsoever, because like I said, we all go through emotional volatility from time to time. But yeah, there's a warning about one's emotions right here in the beginning, especially if you're tied to a water sign. That could be them feeling that, like losing control of those emotions. We're going to go in on the Seven of Wands, though. Yeah, it doesn't feel like the reading is toast because of that, but let's see what's up with the Seven of Wands. Because we have that leading off, and then there's like a lot of action here on the back end. So why is the Seven of Wands here? Thank you. Yeah, Six of Cups. I feel somebody making a lot of progress because of things that they've already been through, things they've gone through in the past. You could use your past struggles and past challenges to help spur you through to another more successful area of life. Learning lessons from the past, learning lessons from the memories. Now, sure, the Six of Cups could also be an energy of soulmates, people we have a lot of history with. And with the Seven of Wands, beware, like you might be clashing heads with people you have a lot of history with. But aside from that, I feel like this is somebody taking lessons they've learned from the past, things that they've already been through, like fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. That's the type of vibe this is giving me, okay? Like knowing better. Those experiences coming in clutch. That way, if it comes up once again, you can use that as a starting point to figure your way forward. Like, it feels okay to me. Okay, so we're going to see what's up with Judgment. Yeah, there might be situations where you might have to draw on your past experiences, whether it's sharing it with others or using it for your own benefit. So let's see what's up with Judgment. Then we'll do a recap before we get into the shadow work. Why is Judgment here? Like I said, that is a big, heavy action card, movement card. So let's see what Judgment's about here for the beautiful Virgos. Thank you. Okay, yeah, we have the Fool in reverse. I feel somebody with a little bit of cold feet. Okay, like there might be something you feel like you need to do, or the universe could be spurring you in a certain direction. And like, it's a little unsure to me when the Fool shows up in reverse. Now, some of you might be tied to an Aries. There's a lot of major arcana, strong energies in this spread overall. But when I see Judgment, the universe trying to nudge you along with the Fool, all about new adventures, I get that cold feet type of feeling. Like nervous about what the future holds, nervous if you should make this move, take this action. Okay, I'm not going to say how you should work through that or solve that. I'm not going to give direct advice, but that's just the energy that this is showing. Remember, tarot is just a little energetic snapshot. It's like a mirror. We see what we need to see within the cards. Okay, and I feel like that's the message for sure. Either stop and go or the cold feet. Okay, so there might be stop and go situations in your life right now where you make a little progress, it slows up. Make a little progress, it slows up. So I feel like it's a dual message here on the back end. Okay, but yeah, the main thing that's sticking out to me is like right in the beginning, the warning about one's emotions or somebody being emotionally volatile. It's all good though. But let's go through and do a quick recap before we get into the shadow work. If you'd kindly look down into the box, as I was already referencing, the King of Cups that needs a beard with the star in reverse. If you're not tied to an Aquarius, as I already said, this could be somebody struggling with little feelings of depression, could be seasonal depression, but the main vibe it was giving me was like a little bit of emotional volatility, a warning about your emotions that like you might get dragged down and then pulled back up. And we see it on the back end too with Judgment and Fool in reverse. But moving to the middle, we have the Seven of Wands with the Six of Cups in the upright, using your past experience as a lesson, using your past experience as fuel to get yourself through any hardships that you're going through right now. It's a very valuable tool. Hopefully you're not going through issues with people you have a very long history with. That could be a possibility. But learning from the past, learning from mistakes, learning from struggles to move forward. On the back end, as I was already speaking about, we got Judgment, we got the Fool in reverse. Interesting to me, it could be somebody a little nervous about what the future holds, a little bit of cold feet, like even if you feel you need to do something, you're a little unsure, or this could literally just be stop and go type of action. And that's what I got there. Let's get into the shadow work. Please take a screenshot of that if you'd like to look into it further. And we're going to shuffle it up one time for you. We're going to use the Shadowland deck. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. There are many lessons to be had within this deck. So let's see what we got for the Virgos here. Early November, please. My God, talk to me. Now, when we're doing tarot for shadow work, we're looking at the dark underbelly of the cards. I've been saying that in all this week's readings. So although I'm an optimistic reader, I do believe in the importance of doing shadow work, looking within and dealing with some not so savory topics. And it's all good. We'll still try to see any silver linings we can. But I just wanted to explain that before we pull these cards. Let's go. Let's get these first three out. We're not going to spend a lot of time on them. We're just having a little look here. What do we got? All right, we got the Four of Wands. Now, generally, that's a very positive card. But in regards to shadow work, this could be scars in regards to family, scars in regards to the home life. Let's see. It could be inaction as well. We got the Page of Swords in position number 2. Being a little defensive. Let's get one more here. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. The Seeker. The Hermit. That's beautiful. Oh, no, that's not the Hermit. It's the Fool. Interesting. Like, if you look at the imagery of this deck, it's, like, really interesting that it's all spooky. And I didn't think it was the Fool because his head was decapitated. Interesting that in both portions of this spread, we have the Fool showing up. So let's go through one by one, and I'll talk about what the shadow meanings and work could be in regards to these. Four of Wands, as I was already saying, home life, family, things like that. This is very stable and an immovable card too. So there might be certain ways about you that you're a little stern about, like you're not willing to compromise. So in regards to shadow work, it could either be that, the scars about family and home, or just being a little more malleable, being a little more changeable if necessary. Okay, now moving over to the Page of Swords, it kind of fits in the same vein because this is a very defensive card to me as well, like somebody who may always think that somebody's up to something. Or all pages are students and messengers as well, but this is the most defensive one. Like he literally has that sword and is ready to do battle at the drop of a hat. So this could be the universe saying, like, within your shadow, you might need to open up a little bit, be a little more trusting of people around you, okay? There could be trust issues attached with this Page of Swords. Now, moving to the back end, we got the Fool here, called the Seeker. Interesting. Look at him. He's decapitated with the little cat in his hand. So just like I was saying, the Fool is all about turning over a new leaf. I feel like this is a tie-in with what we saw in the back. If you're presented with an opportunity, if you're feeling like you have to do something, the cold feet could be really rough to deal with, or the stop and go. This can also be about being a little more spontaneous or lack thereof. So incorporate that however you need to if it is hitting for you. But this Fool energy, you might want to look into this card a little more and see what you can pull from it. Okay, maybe some of you have had rough dealings with an Aries as well, but we're not going to stick to that, Virgo. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the November subscriber surprise. For the November subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful classic Tarot Grand Lux. It's the deck that I use, the main deck in this week's reading. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are at this point. And second, since it is the season of giving thanks, let me know down in the comments what you are grateful for, what you are thankful for. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, I will announce the winners in my community tab. As always, my friends, much love to you, and I'll see you next time.